he's known about some of this stuff for a long time. He's failed to address it, and he's now being caught. It's the same old story of the palace acting too late and too little. I do think he needs to get a grip of the story, and some action needs to be taken against Andrew. We've had a big PR campaign the last week. He's suicidal. He doesn't want to live at Marsh Farm. Granddaughter's been brought out to try and create some sympathy, but it's very clear how deeply involved he was with Epstein, how much he's lied about that involvement, and he's now being proved to be the liar that I discovered in the course of my research.
Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor invited Jeffrey Epstein to visit him at Buckingham Palace a month after the paedophile financier was released from house arrest, according to the latest Epstein files release. The documents are among more than 3 million pages released by the US Department of Justice that also include more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images relating to Epstein's death and the criminal investigation into his activities. Historian Andrew Lownie is the author of The Rise and Fall of the House of York and joins me now. Thank you very much for coming on the show. The documents include photographs showing the former prince crouching over a woman who is lying on her back, and Epstein appearing to offer Andrew a dinner with a 26-year-old Russian woman. Now, Andrew denies any wrongdoing, but how damaging are these latest allegations?
Well, these revelations don't surprise me. I mean, in the course of 4 years' work, I found lots and lots of similar sorts of stories. But I think it brings home to the public just how much Andrew's been lying and actually how he's been protected. And I think it's showing that this drip feed is very damaging to the monarchy and they really need to address it. And I think also it makes the case for Ghislaine Maxwell to stay in prison and not being given a pardon, and to focus interest on Sarah Ferguson, because she also pops up a lot in these documents. She clearly saw a lot and is a material witness to what was going on.
Do you think there's a chance that Sarah Ferguson will be, will have something happen?
Well, I do think that, and I've offered to give evidence to the National Crime Agency to be approached. I mean, I think both she and Andrew need to be investigated by HMRC and by the Met. I heard one of your previous correspondents talk about the need for a parliamentary commission, and I do think there's a need for a parliamentary commission on his time as a special trade envoy, because there's the whole financial misdemeanors element to this story, and I think that could be very focused with, for example, former heads of the UKTI, former ambassadors having to speak on oath. But I do think that there's also the sex allegations need to be looked at. I mean, a lot of the names coming up in this new release are names that I've come across in my research, and it does sort of confirm what I found quite separately.
How do you think King Charles is feeling about what's been revealed in this release?
Well, I think clearly pretty despondent, because, I mean, he's known about some of this stuff for a long time. He's failed to address it, and he's now being caught. It's the same old story of the palace acting too late and too little. I do think he needs to get a grip of the story, and some action needs to be taken against Andrew. We've had a big PR campaign the last week. He's suicidal. He doesn't want to live at Marsh Farm. Granddaughter's been brought out to try and create some sympathy, but it's very clear how deeply involved he was with Epstein, how much he's lied about that involvement, and he's now being proved to be the liar that I discovered in the course of my research.
So he's finally relinquished the lease on Royal Lodge, and he has, I think, until October to move out. Where is he expecting to be living afterwards?
Well, I think it's an interesting question. I mean, there are also stories that he had to be out by the end of January. And I mean, the big question also is, where does Sarah Ferguson go? I mean, he will have some ostensible home on the Sandringham estate. I know the king is keen to keep an eye on him, but he's been offered palaces in the Middle East. I think it's very likely he will spend a lot of time there. And he's now no longer a member of the royal family. He can travel pretty anonymously on private jets. He can continue to do his business under the radar. And so I don't think much is going to change in his life. I don't think he's had to pay much penalty. He's refused still to apologize to the victims. He's not cooperated with any of the legal authorities or with the victims' lawyers. And he's never responded to any of the allegations. And I think some pressure does need to be put on him to explain exactly what was going on and what he saw.
So you say the Middle East. What countries are we talking about?
Well, he's very close to the King of Bahrain. He's been offered a palace in Abu Dhabi. I mean, I think almost anywhere in the Middle East he could go. King Juan Carlos of Spain has gone off to Dubai. And I think that in order to avoid a trial, avoid any of this embarrassing information coming out publicly, he will do a midnight flit to the Middle East at some point, somewhere.
God, Dubai used to be the sort of exile for failed comedians and musicians, but now it seems to be it's for royals in exile. Andrew marks his 66th birthday next month. Do you think he feels much like celebrating?
Well, the extraordinary thing is, I talked to him over the staff the other day, and he doesn't seem to think he's done anything wrong. He feels he's a victim. He's been persecuted, and so I don't think he's going to be clearly won't be able to invite some of his star chums in the way he has in the past. But I don't think it's really the full element of actually the disgrace has really hit him yet. Extraordinary.
That is absolutely extraordinary. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Andrew Lownie, historian and the author of The Rise and Fall of the House of York there.